What? 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 What?
Alrighty, guys, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining up this morning. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I had to prep some stuff for later on, but wow, look at this big move with Netflix today. That is actually a terrible, and I mean pretty bad, drop to the downside here initially. So that move down went all the way under 300.
Guys, welcome to the
touching
live stream.
295.
Joining up this
That
morning.
is a
Sorry, I'm a little
huge
bit
drop
late. I had to
on a
prep
stock
some
like
stuff
Netflix, which was all the way up at
later
334
on,
yesterday
wow,
around
look
close.
at this big move.
So to see
with
them get that low
Netflix
is
today,
definitely
that is
not
actually
good.
a terrible.
Now for
And I mean
today,
pretty bad.
they actually
Drop to
came
the
all the way
downside
back
here.
up, like we all know.
Initially.
And now
So
they're starting
that
to trade
move
down
down
towards
went
some
all the
support.
way under
Alrighty,
300.
guys,
Welcome to
there's a big
live
support down here.
295.
Joining up this
Right
morning,
around
sorry, I'm a little
300
dry.
and
on a
$20
$20 per share. So
later
definitely
on.
keep your eyes
Before
on
yesterday,
that.
wow,
Look
look
at
at
this
this big move.
So to see
looking
them get
good.
that low is
Today.
definitely
That is
not
actually
good.
a
Wait,
terrible.
technical
Now
difficulty.
for
And
today.
Is it done? Let's see. Tell me if it went away. All right, it should have went away. Maybe that's a good thing I was late since it screwed up. That wouldn't have been good. Tomception. It's all right. We hear Tom within Tom within Tom. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Yeah, that's sorry guys. That sometimes that happens because whenever you open up the live streaming, you'll open up on YouTube what is called the live streaming dashboard, and every single time you open it, the freaking sound is on, and you have to turn it off manually. And if you forget, it loops through like that. So sorry for that. Yeah. Tomception. You got me dying out here now. But yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks you guys for joining up. I was pretty much just talking about Netflix though, just that big drop down and the big recovery. Now we're actually moving under the big support around 320. So that's a big area. Even from after hours yesterday, this area had a lot of price action there, which is good for after hours. That shows that there might have been some buyers here or etc. or sellers, whatever there was, but it caused a lot of price action within those few minutes. Now today we're just rocketing right below that 320 area, so definitely keep your eyes on 315 as we start to fall. That's the next big level that I have here on Netflix. Under that, it's going to be kind of hard to tell. I'm going to go ahead, is it not already on here? I'm going to go ahead and add it onto the book map real quick. Maybe this will actually tell us where some of these big levels are. As we all know, for anyone who's been following the book map at all lately, it shows where most of the big buy orders and sell orders are out there on the market. And for anybody interested in book map, just be a little bit patient. We'll have a lot of stuff coming out with book map sometime soon. But man, look at that 180 resistance up there on Tesla. Big sellers up there. They're always there at 180. If you have followed the book map on the streams over the past couple weeks, Tesla's been around 180 a few times. So every time we see it around here, there's always a big block of sellers there. And look at that volume right there. Amazing. 50,000 volume at 180. That is awesome to see right there. That's huge. Let's go. Go Netflix. Or I mean Tesla. Sorry, Tesla. Here's Netflix though. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here with this 315 area, like I said. So 315 definitely has some buyers down there. That's definitely the biggest area to the downside. So yeah, watch 315 to the upside. Keep your eyes on 327 to 328. Looks like that area is also a big area where people are placing orders up there. So looking pretty good though, honestly. Just so much price action here in the moment, you know. And when I say in the moment, you know, if we look at the right side of the screen here, you can see how it's just kind of like jumping up and down real quick. And these volume readings right here on the order book keep jumping up and down right at this, I guess you could say like at the money or at the current price. Manny goes, yeah, the book map. Thanks, Manny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is not good, though, today, guys. Definitely not good to see the market reacting the way that it is for all of the stuff going on right now. It's definitely not good. So looking at the SPY here from yesterday, you know, we had that big strangle, or not even strangle, I guess, big wedge formation that was forming towards the end of the day. We broke out of it slightly to the upside, and then look at this morning. We ended up coming right down under this area in a pretty huge way. Now we're falling like right back down into the big range from last week, so that kind of sucks in my opinion, because there's going to be so many small supports and etc. as we go forward. It's going to be hard to trade it, but what's been annoying me lately is all the up and down movement. So see how yesterday in pre-market we fly up, then at open we dip. I feel like today might be the opposite. We might be actually moving up at open a little bit and then down throughout the rest of the day. So just keep your eyes on the stock market to the downside. I'm definitely leaning down here, especially on QQQ and some of those bigger tech stocks out there. AMD was a good one to the downside earlier, got right down to that low of earlier in the week and then exploded right back up. So just got to keep your eyes on that big support down there around $88 even. Man, that's just... that was a tough move, AMD. Tough move. Look at that turnaround. Man. Wow, that was a tough one. That was a big support bounce there. Same thing with NVIDIA. Wow, I mean, it's really surprising me today. What's looking like Apple, Microsoft looking not good. So what's going on? Very mixed market here today. But obviously, most stocks are to the downside. Wow, a lot of the China plays are looking bad. Look at NIO. Oh my gosh. Poor NIO here. That's not good. That is... Definitely not a good move from NIO. Baba had a good move up this morning, then fell right back off. Interesting. But yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are watching, and we'll go ahead and check those out here. Let me know what you're seeing. Buying back some covered calls today, Manny says. There you go, Manny. That's nice. Hopefully you're winning on those. That'd be nice. But yeah, a lot of stocks are mixed today, Manny. Probably doing pretty good on them. Unless you got like BBBY. Look at this thing. It's up 20% again. Man, BBBY just keeps going. Look at that in after hours yesterday. Like, what? I didn't even see this one last night. Yeah, good old BBBY. I love them. Not really love them, I don't really love them for the long term, so don't think that. But for the short term, they've been having a lot of volatility lately. Even AMC looking pretty good too. Manny says Disney here. Yeah, so Disney looks rough. I mean, this is a bad move with Disney. Look at this drop down under $100. All the way down to $98.50 down here at the bottom. That is a pretty bad support. If we start falling under here, it's going to be even more brutal on Disney. But the big thing with Disney is they obviously are following Netflix. So that's going to be the big thing here with Disney going forward is, you know, like, how's Netflix going to keep moving today? And probably going to go down. You know, they missed on subscriber numbers, which was terrible. Look at these numbers. 1.75 million versus 2.3 million additions expected. That is a really bad miss. It's not like they missed it by like, oh, 100,000 or hell, they didn't even miss it by like a couple 100,000. They missed this thing by like 600,000 plus. So, or like right around 550,000. So that's a lot. That's a big miss. 550,000 subscribers missed. Rough. But it's just, they also have that password sharing crackdown, obviously, which is huge. We talked about this a lot in the Discord. The password sharing thing, I don't know. You know, like Sean said in the Discord, it made some sense. He kind of said he wouldn't like it if they made everybody get their own accounts and their own passwords and stuff, or you know, he's kind of saying like he would like it better if they did like a thing where you just pay a little bit more to have extra accounts or whatever there is. Honestly, why don't they just do this? They should just do, they should just make it real simple. And I mean really, really simple. Just $5 a month per account or per screen. Or I would just say per account, but that way you could have, you know, you could pay $20 a month. They would probably get a lot of money that way too. And then that way people wouldn't complain too bad who had to pay only 5. The question is though, is like, how do they even track that stuff? Like what are they gonna do? Like, how would they know? Well, I guess it's pretty easy for them to know if there's like 2 people on the same account at one time, but I was gonna kind of say, like, how would they know if we, like, I don't know, somehow got like some crazy VPNs or something like that, you know? But they'd probably still know because there's data going into their server under a certain account, but weird. I'm really hoping that they just kind of do what Sean said, though. Maybe just have a nice, easy, like, way. Maybe you just pay, like, an extra $10 a month, and then you can have, like, you know, 10 people use it or something. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, Disney's been kind of rough today, though, definitely. DraftKings, Mason says, wow, it's actually holding up better than I thought, Mason. So, excuse me. Sorry, guys, those allergies are getting me. But yeah, it's looking pretty good today. I will say it's holding up. It's running all the way up to 21, where we actually have some decent resistance up there. So that's pretty big. $21 there on DraftKings yesterday was big, and I even had a level there from a while ago too. So just watch out on this level because we are getting close to some big recent resistance. But it looks like we might be finally getting a breakout. You know, we're getting a lot of momentum back up. It's just every time we've touched this level, we've rejected. So hopefully this time we get that bigger push back up through. And then, you know, we could get a bigger run. That would be awesome. The more DraftKings runs, the better for Tom. So, so let's go DraftKings. Let's just say that. He just says, let's go UAL. Oh yeah, UAL. Wow, that's a good move today. Glad to see that. Awesome. I forgot they kind of reported last night because Netflix stole the show. But yeah, Netflix stole the show, so I forgot about this one. But yeah, it's doing great. It is holding your... Yeah, you're right, Keisha. It is holding. I forgot that one was your trend line. There we go. Actually, there's a big resistance here coming up right around 45, so be a little bit aware of that, but yeah, I'm thinking DraftKings could start to do a little bit better here, you know? They've been coming out in more states, and with the NBA playoffs going on now and all that, maybe that'll increase some betting, and the MLB's going on, and we just got done with the Super Bowl in February or whatever, so I don't know, I'm hoping that they can start to do better with the more and more states legalize. Yeah, let it run, Mason. Let it run. And yeah, Mike, the sonogram went pretty well, or what do you call it? Sonogram or ultrasound? It went well, Mike. It was actually really good, so that's fantastic. It looks like she's actually not as far along as we thought, so that's interesting. So it's official. She's 7 weeks in, so that's pretty cool. 7 weeks in like a couple days. So the baby's like the size of like a raspberry or like almost like a blueberry right now. So it's looking good. Yeah, it's really nice. Sorry, those allergies got me again, but it's yeah, it's all good, Mike. It's awesome. I actually saw the heartbeat there. It was like 143 beats per minute constantly. That's crazy. 143 beats per minute. I was like, man, that's like peak like workout beats, but yeah, it was interesting. I will say this, I've been learning a lot. Okay. I've been learning a lot about about all that stuff about, child labor and all that as we went on. I've been very naive to that, I've learned in my life. It's kind of funny. I don't know any of the terms that they're talking about, like, when I go. I'm like, so what's that? And then they give me like a funny look, like what? Kind of funny. But yeah, getting back to the stocks, let's go check that. Well, let's actually not check the book map. Let's check Tesla's chart first, because I want to see what's going on here. Oh, and it looks like Tesla is still moving up after that initial move from open, but 180 is a big level that we're sitting at. So let's go ahead and look at it right here, 180. You can actually see all of those big volume dots here that keep touching 180, and then the price action comes right back down. That's big buyers coming in and kind of getting rejected there. So we'll have to see if it can break, which I think it can. You can see it was, oh, there it goes. That was quick. Right when I said that, it just happened to go there. Looks like we were lucky that time, but yeah, it was nice to see the break there. That's good. Hopefully we keep going. Now 181's a big level now too. That's funny. 181 actually has more sellers than 180 did at the second that we saw it, but I know that 180 was pretty thick earlier. It just got decreased on that one hit. See how like that big volume dot hit over here on the left? Let's scroll back. See how the big volume dot hit here on the... Is that it? Yeah, on the left side. That dot, see how it was dark red? That dot wiped out some of those orders, and then it wiped out even more on some of these smaller dots, and then whenever we finally got to here again, this big dot really wiped it out. So it's kind of how it's cool how the book map shows that. A lot of people call this level 4 trading or whatever. Really, it just gives you a really in-depth view into the market and what exactly is going on with the price action. And that's the cool thing about it. I love price action. So some people say, well, can't you just watch like the level 2? And like, of course you can, but you look up and down and across the board on this, on the book map. If you're just sitting here watching a level 2, it's not going to look as clean as this. Like, for example, I'm going to go right now to a level 2 on Tessie. So I'm looking at the level 2 here. So it says on the book map, a lot of orders up at like 181, right? Well, I can't even see 181 on my level 2, so can't even see any of that there. But we will, though, as it gets closer. But I love how this shows it when it's further away, because stocks move fast sometimes, and it's cool to, be able to see these things. So 179, look at that. There's a lot of buy orders there, sell orders up at 181. I have a feeling we're probably going to get up to 181 or so since we broke 180. I don't know. I feel like today's been a pretty bullish day so far. Looks like we're definitely trying to. We are trying. That's for sure. Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Man, he says Amazon leading the charge. Uh-oh. AMZN leading the charge. It really is here. It's holding $100 from yesterday. Looking great here today. That's a big run. Big move off that $101 support. Interesting. Yeah, that's crazy here. Good old Amazon. Love them, right? Palantir. No, Palantir. That's not good. Alright, let's find something to play here. Maybe AMD. Ah, it's still just bouncing up. Not my favorite. Amazon. It's up, but it's starting to slow down here at resistance. Slowing down at resistance. Definitely not my favorite play here, that's for sure. What about K for Kellogg's? Not really doing much. O is reality income. I know this one's a fun one for people to trade. Not really doing much else today either. Gold. Gold's actually kind of volatile. Had a big drop and trying to come back. What about ZOM and Oxy? Nothing really there. Baba. Baba might be good to the downside. Check this one out. One's starting to trade to the downside in a pretty big way here. 93.50 is a pretty big area of support. If we break here, it could end up going a little bit more. Just, I don't know. Baba's a tough one to trade to me because they just gap up and down. I feel like a lot of their movement comes from those gaps rather than the moves after the market opens, really. But it's still fun sometimes. Certainly fun. Going over to the watch list here really quickly. Wow, UAL's to the upside for sure. That's the big one here. Maybe that's going to be the one to play with momentum. UAL. What about DAL? Yeah, even Delta, LUV, Southwest. Southwest had some bad news yesterday where they had to ground a whole bunch of planes. Did you guys see that? That was some crazy news. Apparently their one of their computer systems cut out, and then they had to ground a whole bunch of planes for a little while until the FAA cleared it. That was pretty insane for them yesterday, but I guess all good. It's all good now, but I don't know, that sounds scary. If systems are failing and all that. Now, I'm not saying like the systems on the aircraft failed and they all crashed or anything like that. You know, that obviously did not happen. But the main thing was pretty much just grounding them, and it wasn't, like I said, not a computer issue necessarily on the planes, but some type of system in the background went down, and it probably affected some of the planes, but you know, obviously the planes weren't like falling out of the sky from this or anything, so that's good. That's good, but definitely bad news. You know, definitely not what you want. Boeing actually looks really attractive here today as well. Pretty good. I would say Boeing looks like a pretty good one, up to $210 maybe. Come on, Boeing. Look at that 1 minute chart. Not bad. Good triple top going on here, right around 209. Now, I know it's only a $1 move, but above 209, maybe a play up to 210 could be great. Or even if you want to front run it and maybe even like get calls now and wait for the break there, that could be a good way too. Oh, weird setup today, though. Come on, SPY. I was watching this wedge on SPY yesterday, and I really liked it. I really liked this wedge. And then today we fell under here, and we're just kind of consolidating. It's hard to say, you know, how we're going to move today, especially with how we just go up and down so much lately. I can't believe it. Like, throughout the past 5 trading days, there's been so many reversals and all that stuff. It's been insane. Today it might be another one. You know, who knows? We might fill that pre-market gap. Might like fly up, fill the pre-market gap, and then start to maybe move lower. Just a thought. Kind of a hypothetical there, some speculation. VXX is popping up a little bit today. Let's go look at VIX on our trend line, because I know I was, you know, loving that trend line here. And looks like VIX is starting to get volatile, so we'll have to watch this closely. If they continue to stay here and they trade like right back up into this trend, then it's going to pretty much just act like it was a bottom trend bounce. So we'll have to see. And if it does do that, the market will probably fall. But the market right now has been saying, screw that. It's been doing pretty well. I will say, though, looking at the daily chart of SPY, we are at that point right now where we are, if we keep rejecting, this is going to end up being like a lower high going on here on the daily chart. And lower highs are usually not good. You want higher highs. That's usually the better sign, they say, for an uptrend. This is a lower high, and we're like right there at that point where we keep rejecting, it's going to confirm it. Not going to be good. And we'll probably get that move up with VIX. And I feel like earnings could be the big reason for this, honestly, because look at this. Netflix had that bad report yesterday. It was obviously a bad one. You know, they dropped quite a bit. They're still kind of going iffy today to the downside for sure. They're down 3.5%. Definitely not as bad as it could have been. I'll give it that. If it would have opened up down there around 300, it would have been way, way worse in my opinion. But so Tesla's reporting tomorrow. We have a lot of other stocks coming up over the next few weeks. Friday, we even have Procter & Gamble, which is huge. Oh, so we had Johnson & Johnson yesterday, Goldman, Bank of America, Netflix. Goldman actually reported terrible earnings too. Wednesday, we have Tesla, of course, or today and after hours. So let's maybe go over Tesla here. So good old Tessie. I love Tessie. One of my favorite stocks here in the market. I think it could be a really nice stock here with earnings, but I don't necessarily mean to the upside or the downside before the earnings come out. After the earnings come out, though, I think that this stock could be a pretty good one in the sense that it'll be a nice continuation play. So I kind of feel like Tesla is going to have a bad report. That's just my own feelings. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like that they're going to report that their margins went bad, and then they're going to see the stock drop down. Like I said, though, I'm really hoping I'm wrong because I like Tesla. I just, right now with everything going on, and they keep talking about margins, and I even had an article yesterday from this, actually. Get it. Here it is. Tesla is expected to report adjusted net income of $3.03 billion, $1 billion than last quarter and $700 million less than a year ago. But $1 billion less than last quarter, that sucks. Revenue is going to be staying flattish with profit dipping. And the profit's going to dip, and they've been actually reporting pretty good sales. So they'll probably say, oh, it's record sales. You know, they'll say, we had record sales in the quarter. I bet that's something that we'll hear. But they'll probably also say they didn't get the revenue that they wanted. Or they'll say the profits weren't there. Or they'll say margins dropped a lot, or etc. And you know, Tesla's actually been cutting the prices of some of their cars. I can't believe it. They've been cutting the prices in the United States, Europe, and other countries. Pretty crazy. Oh, the Dash play, Manny. For sure. DoorDash was a pretty good play. So, yeah, guys, somebody put $70 million into DoorDash yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this on the video last night or not, but looking good. And hey, Manny, that's awesome. Good stuff. I'm glad you sold the covered call. Let me know the strike. But DoorDash, $70 million play at the 45 strike. So with it being the 45 strike, we pretty much know that they're longing these contracts. You know, like pretty much as long as this stock stays over 45, they could maybe just pick up the shares and just go from there, or obviously close out a little early and reap a ton of reward. But we'll have to see what they end up doing with it. But I will say the $70 million play is awesome right now. We just have to keep in mind that they have this out to August 18th. So like, if this stock goes down this week, you can't really worry about that, because are the $70 million people going to be worrying about it? Maybe a little bit, but they probably know that, you know, they're in this for the long haul. So that's the big thing here. Well, we just have to understand that and just say, well, you know, they have a lot of time on this. So if anybody wants to follow it, you could maybe get some calls that aren't as risky with the same amount of time, or aren't as safe with the same amount of time. These calls that you'd be getting are a little riskier, actually. So you could maybe go with the 55 strike, or the 60 strike, or the 61 or 62 strike. Like, there's a whole bunch of different possibilities we could do this on. You could even do a bunch of different options with spreads. You know, there's a bunch of different spreads out there that you could look into on this as well. But you know, I would honestly probably just look at shares. I think shares on this company wouldn't even be bad, you know? That way you don't have to worry about any of the time decay or anything like that. And then your emotions will maybe be more in check. Now, it's going to cost $6,000 for 100 shares, but I feel like if you got that, you could start to maybe sell some covered calls as well, and then do well that way too. But there's a lot of different ways to play it. I would go the share route personally, given where DoorDash is and what's going on, but that's just me. He says, how's the 65 strike? Are you talking about for August? Let's see. So the 65 strike, oh, I'm looking at Tesla. Here we go. 65 strike on DoorDash for August. The calls are going for around 730 bucks. So it is a little bit expensive, of course. So we do have to keep that in mind, obviously. Going out to January would be even safer, but the 65 strikes cost, wow, 1,100 bucks. But yeah, the 65 strikes are 700. The 60 strikes are like 945 here on DoorDash. So it looks like you'd almost want to turn this one into a spread. You don't even have to trade it as a spread right away, but you could maybe turn it into one as it goes, or maybe even just buy it as a spread. You know, I guess you would say straight up. But there's a bunch of different ways that you could like play it as a spread as well. Trying to work out one of the better ways here. Let's see. Looking at the chain, bunch of different strikes and stuff like that as well. Gotta do some mathing up. I mean, obviously the way you're going to want to go is a call debit spread. So the question is like, what strikes are you going to want to go? Cornish yesterday was going for the 60 and the 55 strikes. So that's actually not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, there's a bunch of ways you could play it on good old DoorDash there. I would recommend getting shares personally over anything else. That's honestly what I would do. If I was anybody in here, I would get shares. That's going to be the safer way. And like here, I'll give you a good example here on the calculator. So you might not make as much with the option, or you actually might, depending on how much money you throw into the play. But like, let's just say you grabbed, like you know, I'm not even going to say 100 shares. Like, let's just say you get 20 shares at, let's just say $62, just to make it easy. All right, so $1,200 here. $1,200, right? Okay. Now let's say that DoorDash goes from 62, where you bought it pretty much, up to recent resistance around 70. That's going to be 13%. So that's actually, it looks like that could actually happen pretty quickly too. Like even the other week, it went from 57 to 70 in like 2 days. So you do 1240 times, 13%. You're looking at making like $161 there, just up to $70 on DoorDash. So, and that's only with 20 shares. Now that's actually, I get it, that's not a ton of money, right? But it's a pretty safe amount of money too. With an option to get that on DoorDash, if you bought the August strike, you'd probably go for like, I bet a lot of people would be going for 75 strike calls or 70 strike calls. And, those are going for like 500 bucks right now. Let's just say 500. You might make 500 or 1,000 if it does go up, as much as it does per contract. But I just really feel like that the shares are the way to go on this one. That way you don't have to worry about the time. Because I feel like a lot of people in here, now I know it's not everybody, but I feel like a lot of people in here aren't going to like the fact that DoorDash is expensive. And most of the people who don't like that aren't really into spreads anyway. So I know spreads aren't very popular, but they're very awesome if you guys could get into them. I'm not going to go too in-depth into the spreads right now, but it's definitely an awesome thing to learn here. If you want to look into call debit spreads, that's going to be what you would do on, DoorDash's sake. Like I said, though, I'm a big fan of the shares on this one. Well, credit debit spread. I would just say a call debit. And no, Manny, I would not straddle it. No, no, that would be a no. That would be like to me like the opposite, I guess. What I'd want to do. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good one at all, Manny. To me, straddles are awful. Like they're good sometimes, but most of the time they just get killed with time decay, and then the strategy just goes out the window most of the time. He said, "What's another word for call debit spread?" Uh, a vertical call spread. That might be what they call it, a vertical, Manny. That might be another way to call it. I'm pretty sure they would just call that a vertical. I normally turn a lot of plays into spreads rather than buying the spreads straight up on the market, but that's usually how I roll with it. $9 strike on Palantir's terrible. That's a big resistance. Keisha says ABT. Whoa, Keisha, what is going on? That's awesome. They've been kind of low here lately, bouncing off support, so that's great to see them up 6%. My God, do they have some news? Let's see. Why Abbott Laboratory shares are higher? Oh, they had earnings. Well, there we go. I guess that explains it. Yeah, they did this morning. Okay. Was that on our earnings calendar? Hang on. Oh, it was. Okay, I missed that. Dang it. I missed that throughout the week. Dang it, Abbott. Kind of liked it. UAL. Looking at, because Keisha talked about that one earlier too. Definitely not good. BBBY is up 40%. Whoo. Go, BBBY. Watch this thing. It's at 48 cents. You guys could maybe day trade this one as a penny stock. That'd be cool. Ooh, DAL. Let's go check out some of these. Sniperbot called out DAL at 9 a.m. even. Come on, DAL. Get up there. Delta, don't be faking out here. Some of those airlines were looking great for a little while. Boeing still doesn't look too bad. Wow, even UAL now is back down quite a bit, though, so. Damn. That sucks, Keisha. Yeah, those earnings on Abbott were insane, it looks like. Yeah, that's crazy. Definitely not good there. United. Definitely not one of my favorites. It's a good one today, just usually it's not my favorite. Like for example, I don't travel with United is what I mean. That's more what I'm saying. Although I'm not against them, I haven't done it. Wow, so SM Bot is calling out Baba puts to the downside. Look at that. Baba breaking lows here. Uh-oh. Not good, Baba. Not good, not good. Yeah, what happened there today? That was a bad drop from last night into today and just a Terrible move. I know China reported that data the other day and they ran up, and then yesterday they fell off. Like, what happened there? They had that data come out and then just died after it was actually fairly good data, I thought, right? Thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so much chop in the market right now. Going back to BBBY, let's see if it breaks that pre-market high. That'd be cool if it broke. That would make for some good movement here today. Good price action. Let's see what we have going here in the background real quick. Yeah, Baba's looking rough, Manny. That's a bad drop there. This 93.40 area is tough. Hey, what's going on, Juicy? Thanks for joining today. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here on the stream. Glad to have you in here today with us. Yeah, we're getting to that midpoint of the week. You know, it's a nice Wednesday here, the 19th. April. Guess what tomorrow is, guys? If you guys guess it right in the chat, we're gonna have a party. But yeah, Juicy, what's up? Thanks for joining. How's Bud? Whoa! Whoa, Bud, what happened? Thought we were gonna be going down with all those, all the boycotts going on, right? That's pretty cool to see. Hey, thanks, Juicy. It actually went pretty well. Yeah, I got to see the heartbeat, Juicy. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was all good. It went well. You know, I was really nervous. I'm gonna be honest. I was like sitting in there, and I was like really just sitting there, like, wow, like what's happening? I was like, this is crazy. And I got really scared for a minute. You know that like that something was gonna be wrong. So like I was really happy when it went well. Yeah, it's all good though. That's good. Yeah, apparently I didn't even really need to go to this one. They said that the big one is when I go to the 20-week one. So I guess that's the big one there. But that's kind of cool. Yeah, thanks, man. It was cool. It was a really cool experience. Honestly, I learned a lot too. Like I was telling people earlier, Juicy, I learned so much. It was like going to like you know, like a science class or something. Honestly, that's what it seemed like. Hey, thanks, Atomistic. Appreciate that. Hmm. Looking for some fire moves here. Let's go see what we have on the book map with Tesla. So 181, you can see we ran up to there, we touched it, got a lot of volume there, and then came right back down. So gonna have to see if maybe this 179 area can hold where there's 61,000 orders stacked, or 61,000 shares stacked. That's a lot there, guys. That is a lot stacked up at one price point. Let's see what that looks like here. Yeah, 10 million stacked up there, so You know, on the stock market, like in reality, is 10 million a lot? Eh, it's a lot, but you know, whenever you're trading hundreds of, I shouldn't even say hundreds. Whenever you're trading as much volume as Tesla does per day, it's a lot, but we just have to realize how many shares go through this stock every day. So you have to keep that in mind too. It's like hundreds of millions. So 62,000 shares, or 61,000 shares. It's just like, yeah, it's a lot, especially at one given level at one time. And it'll probably affect it in the very short term, at least for a couple minutes or something like that. But in the retrospect of things, it's not, you know, that big. Like, look at that order, 178, 114,000. Now that's an order down there. Jeez. Interesting, though. Love watching Tesla on the book map, one of my favorites. It has a very clean book map usually, and I love seeing the orders and everything like that. See how this one's just not as clean? Maybe there's more volatility or something like that with Microsoft. Just not as clean, though. But there is a big upper resistance here, right around 285.70 or 285.85, I guess. A lot of sellers right there for some reason, stacked up. Interesting. Talking about that, let's go look at that Microsoft chart. Maybe it'll be a good play to the downside. Maybe. Yeah, like I said, maybe. Kind of looks good to the downside, but it's just kind of consolidating right here. All right, yeah, but Microsoft has that big resistance there, so it's definitely not good. Gonna have to keep that in the background just in case. See, it actually just tried to touch it. Now it kind of wiped that order off the book, see? We'll have to see if maybe we go back up and test that area now, if we're just gonna reject. We reject under some of these big supports here. Maybe back down's the way to go. $285 is the big support here today. Look at that earlier from open. That was an insane amount of orders fit open there. Wow. Going over to AMD, not really seeing too much offhand. Nvidia has a lot of orders at 276. Maybe it'll trade up to 278 or so. That'd be interesting. Be nice. There's even some liquidity coming in at 277, so maybe it will actually hit there a little bit before moving higher. Yeah, George, that'll be awesome. Could be cool. Man, he got a vertical 45 and then a 50 strike for August 18th on the dash. Nice. 45 and the 50 strike. I feel like that's pretty good. I hope you typed that out the right way, but yeah, Manny, I hope you typed that the right way. Now that I'm seeing it. We are going to have to end the stream here sometime soon, though, guys. Sorry about that. Do have some stuff to do in the background for Stocked Up and stuff like that going on with some of these updates this week and a lot of stuff that we've been working on. You know, don't forget to check out those videos on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. It's been pretty fun to see those doing pretty well, so don't forget about that. You can check out Tom_StockedUp Or you can do at MD Antonio 3. That's going to be Mike's at MD Antonio 3, and that's where it'll be posted. Really fun though. Pretty cool videos. The last one was about Budweiser. Wait till you see the next one. I think you'll like it just as much, hopefully. Pretty cool. So on TikTok, it's StockedUp_ Mike D, or you can just do MD Antonio 3 again. You can do either one, honestly. But thank you guys for joining up. Thank you, George. Or it's either George or Jorge. I can't tell. Sometimes they pronounce it different depending on where you're at. But thank you, George. I'll just leave it at that one. Manny, Atomistic, Juicy, Keisha, Ant, Mike Chang, Mason, of course. Enrique, thank you there. Jamie. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. You make the stream so much better. Oh, and thank you to the other George. So that's cool. Yeah, George, I know. I was like, for a second, I was like, is he gonna pronounce it the same way as the other George? I was like, Now I'm confused. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, the nightly video will be fun. Yeah, no problem, Atomistic. Yeah, thank you guys for joining up. We'll have a fun stream tomorrow as well. It'll be a fun day. I do appreciate you guys joining up. Seriously, it was a fun day today, even despite all the bad, in my opinion, bad price action in the market. I don't like the way that we've been moving right now. Now that Microsoft's going down, I kind of like that a little bit better. But, you know, just looking at like the SPY today, just too many up and down movements. It's too hard to find these continuations right now lately, so just kind of that weird way, but all right, Manny. Hey, I'll tell you what, Manny, tomorrow we'll go over Bookmap in depth even more. So we'll have to do it tomorrow though, because I do have some stuff to get to today, but tomorrow I will definitely do that, Manny. So try to remind me if you can. That would really help me out if you could do that. But other than that, we'll be going over it in a pretty good way. There's lots of stuff to go over with it. Obviously, I'll go over it more in depth for you guys. So I think you guys will like it there. So appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you later, and let's have a good rest of the day. Hey, don't forget, post those profits up in the profits channel, please. That'll really help us out so much, guys. It'll really inspire others as well. So if you guys catch any nice profits out there, post them up. Seriously, people love to see those, and it'll be very inspirational for a lot of people. You know, it's very tough for a lot of beginner traders. So if if one of the more advanced people out there start posting up some profits, it'll start to look pretty cool. At least, you know, it'll give them a lot of courage, hopefully. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.